Sustainable Strawberry Production Series. In this video, we will talk about the benefits and management of summer cover crops for strawberry production. Summer cover crops can be planted in May or June to protect the soil from erosion, smother summer weeds, suppress nematodes, and potentially add nitrogen to the soil. Growers should first consider their goals for planting a cover crop before determining which cover crop species to plant. For example, if suppressing nematodes is your goal, then you would want to select a cover crop that is either not a host or is a poor host for the specific nematodes in your soil. To learn more about cover crop selection, check out the publication Managing Cover Crops Profitably by Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education. You can find a link to the publication in the description below. There are 3 broad classes of summer cover crops: legumes, grasses, and others such as mustards. Leguminous cover crops are able to grow their own nitrogen fertilizer via the fixing of nitrogen in the plant's roots by bacteria. Grass cover crops generally produce large amounts of biomass, are better at suppressing weeds, and will ultimately contribute larger amounts of organic matter to the soil. Cover crop plants from the Brassica family, such as mustard, are often planted for their pest suppression capabilities and their biofumigant effects. The most important consideration for incorporating summer cover crops into plasticulture strawberry production is the issue of time of planting and termination. To get the most benefit from the short window between strawberry production seasons, it's important to establish the cover crop as early as possible in late spring or early summer. Cover crop seeding rates will be determined by multiple factors, including the cover crop or mix of cover crops chosen and the seeding method. For example, drilling the seed requires lower seeding rates compared to what would be required by broadcasting to get similar stands. Research in North Carolina has shown that a mixture of 10 pounds of pearl millet per acre and 100 pounds of cowpea iron clay per acre is a suitable cover crop mix to plant before fall planted strawberries. This cover crop mix is drought tolerant and serves as poor host to several problematic nematode species, including root knot nematodes, and has been shown to promote or maintain strawberry yields in the year after planting. This mixture, when planted to allow 8 to 10 weeks of growth, can reliably produce 3,000 pounds of biomass and supply 25 to 35 pounds of pre-plant nitrogen to the strawberry crop. We will also cover calculating nitrogen additions from cover crops in this series. Mustard cover crops can be planted in the spring or late summer for a short cover crop, maturing in 45 to 60 days. When certain mustard types are mowed and tilled into the soil, they can act as a biological fumigant to suppress nematodes and diseases. Spending time calibrating seeding equipment and checking for seed depth placement will go a long way to maximizing seed emergence and ultimately the cover crop stand. Cover crops can be successfully seeded with both seed drills and by broadcasting. Slightly higher seeding rates may be required when broadcasting to ensure an even stand. In both cases, proper cover crop seed depth placement is important to maximizing germination. When planting cover crop mixtures like pearl millet and cowpea, differences in recommended seeding depths should be considered. For growers who plan to broadcast seed the cover crop, one approach is to first broadcast the cowpea seed and likely rake it into the soil using a cultivator. Afterwards, the pearl millet can be broadcast on the soil surface and gently pressed into the soil. To ensure optimum nitrogen fixation, the cowpea seed should be mixed with an appropriate legume inoculant to coat the seed prior to planting. Planting in June allows around 60 days for the cover crop to grow before it's terminated in early August. This timeline works well for the pearl millet and cowpea mixture, as it's likely to just reach flowering in 60 days. Most cover crops should be terminated around the time of flowering and before seed set. This helps maximize the nutrient content available in the biomass, prevent the cover crops from becoming weeds in the following cash crop, and allow for easier herbicide termination when plants are more susceptible. For plasticulture systems, the cover crops must be terminated and incorporated into the soil at least 14 to 20 days before raising beds. The speed at which cover crop tissues will decompose is dependent on the method of incorporation, crop type, crop age, soil moisture, and temperature. Cover crops tilled in the soil will break down more quickly than if the biomass is left on the soil surface. Additionally, warm soil temperatures generally lead to quicker decomposition than cool temperatures. Flail mowers or bush hogs are generally preferred for cover crops that produce large amounts of biomass because flail mowing will reduce the tissue to pieces small enough to be easily incorporated into the soil. Legume and mustard cover crops will be very quick to decompose, and the soil may be ready for bedding in as little as 10 days. Thick grass stems will be slower to break down, and if not decomposed sufficiently prior to bedding, can interfere with bedding equipment or plastic laying. Termination of cover crops can be achieved with various management techniques, such as roller crimping, herbicide applications, mowing, burning, or incorporation. For strawberry production in the southeast, mowing and conventional tillage are the most commonly used practices for terminating cover crops. Many studies in the southeast have shown that soil management practices, such as planting summer cover crops, can be suitable for both organic and conventional strawberry growers, with the cumulative effects of building soil organic matter, soil fertility, and beneficial soil organisms, as well as potentially reducing the amount of synthetic fertilizer inputs in conventional systems. To learn more about research and resources related to sustainable strawberry production in Arkansas, visit our webpage at uaex.uada.edu/sustainable-strawberry. Special thank you to the Southern Sustainable Agriculture Research and Education Program for their support of this project. Thanks so much for watching.